Hi, everyone. Welcome back into My Chamber TV, the heartbeat of our community. I'm your host, Barbara Marville Kelly, and I happen to have the honor of my co-host, Mr. Paul Friedlander.
Paul Friedlander, nice to
Welcome.
be here as always.
I know, it's so much fun. Yes. And then, of course, we're going to do a second day. But I also wanted to introduce one of our guests, who is Lisa Schoneman with Peeler Group. Now, I was talking to you in the green room earlier, and I was quite fascinated with your background. I mean, you spent 25 years as a major crimes investigator?
Oh, I spent 25 years with the Paso Sheriff's Office. In that 25 years, 17 of that was as a detective, 15 as a major crimes investigator, yes.
Wow, now that had to be, I think I can't describe a word for that. I'm going to let you tell us about your, what you've been doing, what you're doing now, and I mean, you've got history with 48-hour mysteries, swamp murders, and deadline crime have all highlighted some of your cases, and you're a member of the West Pasco Chamber of Commerce, and I mean, this is, wow, I said to her earlier, I said, God bless you. My goodness.
I've had a very busy life. I actually grew up here in Pasco County, so it is my home and it's very dear to me. I did spend, most of my life with the Paso Sheriff's Office, so again, the community is very important. So when I did retire, becoming a member of the Chamber of Commerce was one of the things that I sought out to do, and I went to work for Peeler Group International, and they are very much believers in becoming part of the community, and he also encouraged me to become a member of the Chamber of Commerce. But yes, I was with the Pasco Sheriff's Office, and I loved being an investigator. So once I got into major crimes back in 1999, that's where I stayed until I retired in October 2014. And while I was there, my main thing is I investigated homicides, deaths, robberies, child abuse, anything along those lines. But my real passion became like cold cases really became a passion of mine, and that's kind of what led me into being on some of the shows that you see on TV. I was on 48 Hours Mysteries. They found out about a case that I had that was a 30-year-old, the cold case that I was fortunate enough to be lucky enough to solve. And they came along and they filmed that, and Tamron Hall with Deadline Crime and Swamp Murders covered another one of my cases that was a cold case that I was lucky enough to be able to solve and help the families out. And so when I left the Sheriff's Office, I was relatively young. I still am. I'm an old girl, but not that old. You can't go from 250 miles an hour to nothing. So for a short time, I did leave the area and to care for my in-laws in New York, and that's how I met Mr. Peeler. He has a company in Fonda, New York, but he's also licensed here in Florida, but mainly over in Orlando. And I was working for him while I was up there with his group. And when I came back, I said, listen, I'd love to be able to bring your services to Pasco County. So that's what we're doing now. And since May, we're now offering our services to the Pasco County area. And I like to be able to say, if you want to find somebody, if you want to know where they're at, call us. Or if you want to serve them, give us a call. People often go, well, what do you do? They always think the cheating spouse. That's the one thing we don't do. I will not find a cheating spouse.
You haven't been on that TV show.
No. We don't do that. But, I mean, we cover just about anything you can think of. Fraud, if you've had a problem with a court case, a lot of attorneys use our services if they're having trouble locating witnesses. We'll go out, locate the witnesses, we'll conduct interviews for them, we'll serve subpoenas for them, evictions, we'll do background checks. Sometimes people want to find somebody, they'll hire me to do that. I've had contacts from people that have lost loved ones and they've asked me to track them down. Just about anything you can think of. We can figure it out and try to help you out, and if we can't, we can put you in the direction of somebody that can.
That's wonderful. I love this service. My husband actually had a friend that volunteered to find his long-lost daughter after 53 years. So I really respect what you're doing. You must have such a sense of accomplishment when you're able to help out. And all these years and all these these crime mysteries that you've been able to participate in solving. I mean, that's got to be so rewarding to you.
It is. It's kind of my Super Bowl. You know, my husband's a real big sports fan, you know, and
Yeah.
he loves watching sports. But when I can help somebody, when I can figure out a case, when I can solve it, when I can figure out what happened, put the puzzle pieces together, that's my Super Bowl. You know, that's kind of my high. I'm like, yes, I got it, I did it.
That's amazing.
And a lot of people say, well, how do you do it? You know, and it's like putting together a puzzle. You know, if you've ever put together a puzzle, you find those pieces that don't quite fit together, and you keep trying to jam them together, but they don't work.
Right.
Well, forget it. Get the next piece. The one that fits there is going to lie there, then you know you've got it. And you approach any investigation the same way.
Barb, I had an opportunity when we did the ribbon cutting for Peeler. I had an opportunity to meet Bill, and that is
Yes.
correct, right? Mr.
Yes, Bill
Peeler, who owns
yes.
the company. And very interesting gentleman. And I know
Wonderful
that
guy.
there's probably not, really, really neat community-minded gentleman. You know, like she said, he's based up in New York, and he was he was going to be able to try and sneak back down to be on the show today. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to. And I know probably not a lot of need in the Pasco area, but they also do protection services.
Yes, they do.
And he was telling, he has protected some pretty neat people. So don't know that, again, that there's a large need down here, but they do offer protection services.
Yes, we do. We do offer protection services, and he has done it. Of course, we can't name names because that's not allowed.
Of course.
Some really big name people, and he's traveled all over the world doing so. And he's been in business since 1995. Because I could have gone in business for myself, but I didn't want that. You know, I found him. He came very highly recommended, and he's known all over the world. And he does a very good job, and he has a lot of resources. So it made sense. Go to work for myself and start out, or go to work for somebody like himself that has an
Absolutely.
established, terrific business. And he has resources that I wouldn't have been able to get just starting out. And he does a great job. He's a wonderful individual. And he also provides, if you want to have if you have a business and you're looking to have people checked out before you hire them, that is something that he does provide very easily.
You know, this is really great for our area. I'm so glad that you joined the chamber now. I know, but I've had this question. I know we have just a few minutes till our break, maybe about 4 minutes, but what made you get into this business, and did you find over time in solving these mysteries, did you go with your gut feeling with a lot of things?
Always.
Did you find that when that final piece of the puzzle came together, it was like a gut-wrenching aha moment for you?
Absolutely. You knew it. When you had the right person, you knew you had the right person.
Yeah.
And if I didn't have that aha, I knew that it was the right person, and still now, then I didn't go with it. You know, if you don't know 100%, then you don't know 100%. I was that way as law enforcement, and I'm that way as an investigator. And if I do a case for you, I'm going to give you the information I have, and I'm going to tell you my feelings on it, right, wrong, or indifferent, you know, and I'm honest.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And I think that's what we need in this particular industry. There's so many people out there that will sit on a computer and regurgitate information. That's not an investigator.
No.
You need somebody that knows where to look for it, how to read people, how to talk to people. And I've had a lot of years doing that.
Lisa, real quick, and I know we're running out of time. With all these new shows on, and I know it's gotten people to be more interested in forensic science and things. Some of that stuff's a little bit exaggerated. Yes,
little bit?
Yeah. Okay, that's what I was getting at.
Oh, you know, it is wonderful, the DNA and the science that's
Right.
come around. It really is. But unfortunately, it's been hurtful too.
Yeah,
Because juries now think that in every single case, you are going to have all the scientific information.
Gotcha.
I had a particular case not that very long ago that we took over 1,000 pieces of evidence out of this house. We got 2 viable pieces of hard evidence out of over 1,000. And the
Wow.
guy spent over 45 minutes in the house. We know he did.
Right.
But that's the reality.
Yes.
But on TV, oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
Everything's
you know.
good.
Right.
So,
Right.
you know, and lawyers do their job. They go in there and they present to the jury that
Sure.
there should be all this wonderful information because everybody watches TV and, you know, but that's not the truth. You know,
Thank you.
Science
And
is
that's
great.
why I asked that question.
Yeah, that was a good question. Yeah. So what we're watching isn't really the whole real deal.
No, there's a lot of real science, but it's not everywhere like on TV.
everywhere,
And not
yeah.
every case is solved in 30 minutes. I mean, those
Yeah.
cases I'm telling you
Some
about,
take-
some of
some
my
take an
spent
hour.
years.
My goodness.
Some take a whole hour. Yeah. Some take a whole
Depending on
hour.
the show. Or some take 2 episodes.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, you are so fascinating. I could sit and talk with you all day, really. I want to thank you for joining
thank
us
you.
and sharing your business now. And I mean, this is really fascinating and really quite a niche business for us to know that if you ever needed to find somebody, maybe you do have a missing loved one, or you want to have a business checked out, or somebody to make sure you're making that know, like, and trust factor,
Yes.
you have to call Lisa.
Please
Absolutely.
do. Give me a call. I'll be glad to help you out. If I can't, I'll find somebody that can.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us. We're going to be right back with more guests from West Pasco Chamber.